Hello everyone. So things have gone from bad to worse for Russia. The Crimean Bridge has been hit again. And once more, this is a fantastic operation by Ukraine. Ukraine reports that this one took several months. During that period of time, SBU agents of Ukraine placed mines along the supports of the Crimean Bridge. Today, the device was detonated. The underwater supports are reported as being severely damaged at the bottom level. Now, that is key. The road structure of a bridge, which were destroyed in the past, are not an easy repair, but repairable. The supports being structurally compromised and destroyed, as seems to be the case here, means that the bridge is, to use a technical term, knackered. This diagram has been shared online, and it shows a bridge, and the area in red is what was targeted here by Ukraine. You can see that these supporting pipes are underwater and underground, making repair all the more difficult. The bridge is still standing. It has not been downed. As seen earlier, the detonation took place in the area marked, and these are the steel pipe piles, 110 in total in this support group, and they're driven between 64 to 72 metres into the ground. Now, I'm not an engineering or bridging expert, so I ran this through a couple of AIs for information to find out how important they are. And this tells me that the role of these piles is to transfer the vertical and lateral loads of a bridge down to these strong stable soil or rock layers deep underground, which went a bit over my head. So I asked AI to simplify it. So basically, they take the heavy weight from the bridge, including the bridge's own weight, cars, trucks and trains, wind and even earthquakes, and pushes it deep into the ground below to keep the bridge safe and steady. These piles form the base of the concrete pier and the supporting elements above them, which then in turn supports the bridge arches and the decks of the road. So, pretty much, the piles are the first line of support for the bridge. It is these which Ukraine has targeted, and it does reduce the stability of the bridge. If a section of these piles fail, then the remaining ones must carry a disproportionate share of the load, risking overstress or failure. Damaging these piles, as seems to be the case, makes the structure far more vulnerable to stresses from, say, heavy train crossings, storms, heavy vehicle traffic, and that sort of thing, or future attacks. So again, the bridge is still standing, but has definitely been structurally weakened by the destruction of these. To what degree, we don't know yet. But I wouldn't fancy driving over this in anything heavier than a Lada, which is, ironically, Russia's main assault vehicle at the moment. So I guess we'll find out how structurally weakened this is when the first heavy vehicle drives across it, presumably being driven by the unlucky sergeant who was caught poking the general's wife. Now, there was some mixed information as to where on the bridge was hit. At first, it was assumed to be the section highlighted here, indicated by the arrow, but it's now appearing that it was actually the railway section of the bridge, roughly the spot shown here on the map. Interestingly, I read a report a few days ago saying that Russia was starting to increase the railway traffic on this section of the bridge, having strengthened it after damage in Ukraine's past attacks. And the railway section is what Russia used to use to transfer heavy weapons and armour and that sort of thing over the Crimean Bridge into Crimea itself. So it is the key section. So, how was this actually carried out? Well, we may have an answer thanks to satellite imagery. Now, firstly, let's check some satellite images from last year showing the bridge. These are from 2024 and show the bridge's defences. So Russia has been tightening up defence on the bridge since Ukraine's past attacks, setting up a ring of defensive berms and nets along the vulnerable sides of the bridge to protect it from marine drones, and also a network of barges slung across the water, all connected together with nets and things underneath it. When a ship is passing through, a section of the barrier is opened. This image on screen now shows the section that was hit today. So, Ukraine needs to get under or around this barrier to target the bridge. How did they do it? Well, satellite imagery possibly shows how. Satellite imagery shows that some sort of maintenance, and I'm using sarcastic quote marks when I say maintenance here, was being carried out in that very spot on June the 1st. Let's zoom in so you can see the clear presence of a boat of some type in the area that was hit. So, could this be the day that the mines were planted, or some of the mines, as Ukraine said this operation took place over a period of months? So, was Ukraine doing it right under the noses of Russia, in the guise of carrying out maintenance work on the bridge? It could definitely be the case, and I would be very interested in seeing past satellite imagery to see if boats have been here before. That would be very cheeky if Ukraine was doing this. But it could just be a big coincidence, and this actually is Russia carrying out maintenance work on this side of a bridge. A few other suggestions as to how Ukraine pulled this off. They simply used a small submersible or similar vehicle, sailed it undetected near the bridge, and over a period of time, frogmen went out to plant explosives. The downside of this, the submersible risked being detected by patrolling Russian Navy ships. It could be something like this which Ukraine demonstrated recently, the Marichna underwater drone which has a range of 1,000 kilometers, seen in this video with frogmen on it. So, using this to take a team near the bridge to plant explosives and get out of there again. Idea number 2. They came in from behind. Using civilian ships or passenger boats to get close to a bridge, frogmen went under the bridge to plant explosives. This area, the Sea of Azov, much less guarded than the southern part. Idea 3, and this is very speculative. We used a container ship to do it. So, Ukraine had operatives on a container ship that either just dropped a mine off each time it passed the bridge, or deposited the frogmen to go down and plant the mines whilst it was in the area. From the sounds of it, though, the mines were actually buried to reach these supporting poles. So I don't think it was a case of Ukraine using a container ship to just plonk a mine next to the bridge when we passed by. It sounds like Ukraine had frogmen bury them in specific places to make sure the supporting structures were badly damaged. Of course, Ukraine could have pulled off something completely left field and out of the box here. I guess we're going to have to wait for more details. I expect Ukraine may reveal how this was carried out in the future. Now, let's check the video again. So this feed was shared immediately by Ukraine, which means Ukraine had immediate access to it. This has kind of slipped under everybody's radar in the excitement of a bridge being hit. Well, that indicates to me that Ukraine had access to Russia's video surveillance system on the Crimean Bridge, and has done for a long time now, and has been monitoring the bridge using it, which is possibly how they timed the attack to take place when no civilians were crossing. Now, there were later reports of a drone attack on the bridge using marine drones, but so far, no video has been released and nothing showing a strike on the bridge. That could be misinformation shared on Telegram, or that one could have failed. That one could even be a type of ambush again and a trap. So marine drones with missiles sent to down aircraft or helicopters trying to intercept them. Ukraine perhaps knowing that helicopters and ships would arrive on the scene after the initial blast of the bridge, and then sent marine drones in to capitalize. We are going to have to wait for more information on that front. So, that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now, I'm going to play a video about a new fundraiser with the Ukraine Volunteer Centre, who we've raised money for in the past. The donation link is in the description. Thanks very much, and take care, everybody.
Hello everyone. We have all seen what happened to the Russian warplanes. It showed that Ukraine is very strong. Believe and support us, and we will win this war. Sumy region, one of the hottest area of the front. Our assault units are working here, quickly, accurately, to the limit of their capabilities. But now they critically lack the simplest thing, car. We are announcing a new urgent fundraiser for the assault brigade for 2 reliable off-road vehicles. We need them not for the future, but right now to go on missions, evacuate the wounded and deliver supplies. They know how to use these cars. All they want is for them to get to them. The foundation is raising 18,000 for 2 prepared off-road vehicles. We don't chase the picture, we only take what really works on the front line. We know what is needed on the front line. No unnecessary words, no show. Each transfer is critically for the needs of a specific unit. The Sumy direction is a risk zone. The enemy is constantly looking for a weakness. Their mobility is lives. It's a chance to get in and out. This is a chance not to lose people. Now is the moment when an off-road vehicles can solve more than armor. That's why we are turning to you.